Please, stop now!
These are some of the bravest cops in the country. Fighting crime up close and personal. Their battleground, the City of London.
Move!
The very heart of one of the most crime-ridden capitals in Europe. Gang violence, deadly weapons, and lethal drugs. This is Brit Cops Law and Disorder.
Stay there. Do not move. What's going on, fella?
Coming up, violence on the buses.
Yeah, they've turned right, going away from the city.
Attempted distraction theft on the streets. And undercover with London's crime squad.
We're going to be looking for stolen watches, right?
Nighttime in the City of London, and rapid response cops have had a report of a vicious fight on a London bus. They're en route in seconds.
Well, there's a 100 bus. 78. 7 on scene.
At the scene, it's chaos.
What's going on, fella?
The bus door has been smashed to pieces, and a terrified passenger is hysterical.
Can you get us home safe, please? Get us home safe.
Why?
Other passengers on the bus claim that they were set upon by a gang of youths who have done a runner, but they're vague about which direction the gang headed. Eventually, the cops are pointed the right way.
Right, what way did they actually go? Right. 6:20 active message, Goodman's Yard, males running away.
Officers are immediately in pursuit.
Yeah, they've turned right, going away from the city.
But there's no sign of them. If the gang was responsible for this mayhem, then they're long gone.
But I just saw people running. All I saw was legs. People literally bodies running away.
The cops didn't stand a chance because they were initially sent in the wrong direction. Something here's not right.
Yeah, we were given wrong information about what direction the males had gone off in, first of all. So we probably lost a good, 20, 30 seconds on them. When we came down the junction here, literally the males would have been probably 80 yards in front, so there was no ID possible whatsoever. And they've obviously now got away from the scene.
Back at the scene with the bus passengers, it's time for the police to get to the bottom of what's happened.
Went to a party, right? Obviously, we've come out. I told all my friends to leave early, yeah, because I knew there was a bit of conflict and atmosphere between people, yeah?
The young woman saying that this group of youths left a nearby party and were followed by a gang, who then attempted to attack them and cause damage to the bus. But the bus driver claims that it was one of these passengers who actually caused the damage. And the cops now have a suspect.
Yeah, the bus driver say no, it's definitely that'll have to be done.
Okay. And with such a large group of emotionally charged young people, the cops need to handle this situation with care.
Well, we're going to have to deal with it quickly, yeah, because it's all going to go off.
As the officers approach the suspect, he becomes increasingly aggressive.
Let me fucking close! Fella, we're going to deal with the situation in a minute, all right, mate? Fella, right, we don't need you there.
Stop touching me, please!
You just go, fella, go over there. I know you're his mate, but just go over there. Yeah, you're not helping the situation.
This situation is now at boiling point. The cops manage to swiftly separate the suspect from his mates, so they can arrest him without any confrontation.
At the moment, we can only go by what we've been told. Do you understand that?
Eventually, the suspect is led away quietly in cuffs, and the cops disperse the rest of the group,
You've got 10 seconds to get on the bus.
averting any further trouble.
At the moment, say one gentleman's been arrested for criminal damage to the bus, and the others that weren't involved in the incident now been allowed to leave and are on another bus going home out of the City of London.
London's Embankment, and Special Constable Dan Salmasian is racing to intercept a car that's failed to stop for police.
Yeah, they're just asked for an extra unit, so we're going to see what's happening.
At the scene, other officers have already finally managed to stop the vehicle. Unbelievably, the driver claims he didn't know he was being pursued by police cars, even though they had their blues and twos on.
Little bit of advice, if there's a vehicle behind you that's flashing at you and it's got its blue lights on, listen, usually means for you. Alright, the court of law, that won't stand up. If there's a blue light vehicle behind you flashing at you, indicating for you to turn over to the left-hand side, you need to pull over, otherwise you'll get done for failing to stop. Do you understand that?
As cops quiz the driver, Special Constable Salmassian checks the car's details.
So I'm going to run a check now and see what's required on this.
This car's been flagged up by the city's ANPR system. The driver is already known to the police, and he's currently banned from entering the City of London in connection with another alleged incident.
He's got bail conditions not to enter the city at any point to drive to the city. He has. He's breached his bail conditions.
While a police sniffer dog gives the car the once-over, the cops turn their attention to the car's passenger. He's being a little vague about his identity, so the police have got no idea who he is.
What's passenger?
No trace.
No trace. Has he got any ID on him?
No. Funny old thing.
Have you got any ID on you at all?
And this only raises their suspicions further.
You've got no identification on you and your driver doesn't really know who you are. It's a little bit concerning.
You got my name, my address and everything, and then you can check it out.
Are you registered at that address?
Of course I am.
Are you registered to vote?
Of course I am.
So if I do an address check, it'll come up?
No problem.
Oh, that's what we can do then, sir, isn't it? So obviously we can find out who you are.
As the car search goes on, officers try and work out who the passenger actually is.
What is the postcode for that?
Which is proving more difficult than you'd think.
Well, he's giving me a pony postcode then.
One thing the cops are sure of is that this car's driver is banned from entering the city, so he'll be getting arrested. His rather mysterious passenger, on the other hand, is free to leave, even though the cops are still dubious about the details he's given them.
There's nothing we can hold him on, he's just a passenger. He could be lying to us, we're never going to know. And he says he's 60, but makes my dad look 80. But he obviously is a young 60, but we never know. I suppose he's got away today. Can't arrest him for anything, so he's free to go, unfortunately.
Anything you do, so maybe give him evidence, do you understand?
For the driver, however, his night is well and truly over. A search of his car turned up nothing, but he's still in breach of his bail conditions.
The doc hasn't found anything. Gentleman's been nicked with bail conditions, he's not allowed to come through the city.
Breaching conditions of bail is a serious offence, one the cops come down very hard on. After the break,
One of them is walked out with a bottle of wine.
the cops bust a suspected team of shoplifters. The city's CCTV captures two men trying to steal someone's PIN number. And police trap a suspected fraudster.
Me and my colleagues, mate, are very experienced police officers. Don't tell me that whole thing about you don't know him, mate.
A new day dawns over the City of London. And as the hundreds of thousands of commuters flock into Britain's financial capital, the city's cops are already hard at work. Rapid response officers Abda Shahid and Anne King have been called to assist their colleagues.
They've got a shoplifting tank, I think it is.
Shoplifting can be a major problem in the city. At the scene, one man has already been detained outside the shop. And it's not long before a second man is brought out in cuffs.
This gentleman has just been arrested on suspicion of theft because he stole a bottle of wine from Tesco's, but he was in conjunction with two other people. The other person has just been detained and one's made off.
It's not uncommon for highly organised gangs of shoplifters to come into the square mile at the busiest times of day in order to steal. Using distraction as a tactic, thieves usually work in threes. As one man distracts the security guards, another keeps lookout, and a third steals the items.
Anyone on telephone today?
But detained on suspicion of being one of the distractors, this man thinks the cops have nothing on him.
No, you have to wait here, because I'm detaining you. Wait here. Go ahead. Just wait here. Put your bag down. It is a problem, yeah.
It turns out that undercover officers who were working in the area already had the 3 men under surveillance.
Tesco's.
Yeah.
One of them has walked out with a bottle of wine. When tried to be challenged by myself, he's ran off, and we've managed to detain him just shortly west of Tesco's. This male remained outside throughout the duration.
All right.
As the suspect caught with a bottle in his bag heads back to the station, his alleged accomplice still thinks he's got off scot-free. But he hasn't.
Listen to me. As you've been seen going in and out of premises, and one of your friends who I know is with you, because he's just gone and nicked something, and you've stayed outside while he's done it, I'm going to be arresting you for joint enterprise, okay? You do not have to say anything, but it may run...
Joint enterprise is a 300-year-old law re-employed in 2009. Even if someone is not suspected of actually committing the criminal act, but lends their support to a person that is, they too can be arrested.
One of the men's been arrested for theft because a bottle of wine was found in his possession, and his mate or colleague was arrested for joint enterprise because he was involved in the distraction.
Distraction theft is rife in the City of London. It's a ploy used by cunning gangs of criminals who swarm into the city along with daily commuters. Using the square mile's busy streets as cover, they target the vulnerable. And it's not just shoplifters that use distraction. It's also commonly used by criminals out to steal bank cards.
We're finding this type of crime is increasing, and officers in plain clothes are on the lookout for this sort of behaviour. We're looking for people acting suspiciously around cash point machines.
Gangs of 2 or 3 criminals will stand behind an unsuspecting person as they input their PIN number into a cash machine. Then one of the criminals will cause a distraction, allowing the others to steal the cash card as it's ejected from the machine. It's a busy day in the city, and CCTV operators have had a tip-off from undercover officers on the street who spotted 2 men acting suspiciously near a cash point.
They were out on patrol in a hotspot area, and they saw a couple of guys hanging around suspiciously.
When an innocent woman comes to withdraw money, the men's behaviour becomes even more suspicious. Instead of leaving, they hang around. As the first cash machine is out of order, the woman goes to the second. The 2 men then appear to queue behind her. But as she enters her PIN, the man in the white t-shirt gets his phone out, but he's not making a call. He's saving her PIN number into his mobile. The man in the dark shirt then moves in for the distraction, telling the woman that she's dropped something. With her eyes diverted from the cash point, his mates get ready to swipe the card. But a passerby appears to spook him. The woman is lucky on this occasion. The 2 men have failed to steal the card. And they didn't just try this once, but 3 times. And as a result, both were arrested that day at an underground station as they tried to leave the city. They were later found guilty of attempted theft and fraud.
2 criminals in this instance went to court the following day, pleaded guilty, and were sentenced to 6 months imprisonment.
The first stage of distraction theft is to physically steal the card. The next stage is for the thieves to withdraw as much money as possible, usually from cash machines. But distraction theft isn't the only way fraud is committed in the square mile. City officers have been called to a bank. A man has walked in with a chip and PIN card, requesting to withdraw a staggering amount of money.
We've got a guy who's trying to draw out, I believe, in the region of £50,000.
The sheer size of the withdrawal request has alerted bank staff, so they immediately called the cops.
So this one.
But not before stopping the man from leaving. With the officers now on the scene, the suspected fraudster is led to a back room. If anyone can find out what's been going on, these cops will.
Yeah, 716 estate. We got the mail. Got him in the staff area. We're going to question him first.
One of my friends, he's outside. One guy, he said, for me to get money because he wants to, like, you know, I was outside standing. So he said, I'll give you £100 because I lost already in bookie.
So why are you coming in here?
Extraordinarily, the man claims he was collecting the vast amount of cash for a friend.
So he said he gave me a £200, all right? He gave me a £200 on me, and he said, you know, just go get the money and come. I said, okay, because I don't know the thing, So he told me to go get it, then he wrote it for me.
But why, okay, I appreciate he's told you that, but why haven't you, why hasn't he come in?
No, I don't know about him because I don't know him, so he
why are you doing it then? Why are you coming?
The man is now claiming he doesn't actually know the person who asked him to collect the money.
I pay my rent yet, so I was just walking because I don't have
let's have
a...
the truth, mate. Let's have confidence.
Sorry?
That is what you're telling me, mate. Right. I mean, me and my colleagues, mate, are very experienced police officers. Don't tell me that whole thing about you don't know him, mate. You've come into a bank, mate, and your lips are thin, which means you're a little bit nervous, aren't you?
These very experienced cops are trained to be able to spot telltale signs when someone is lying.
Because at the moment, mate, you're coming up with a story which has no credence or credibility to either me and my colleagues. Right, let's have the truth.
Okay.
Who is he? Who is your friend outside?
Sorry?
Who is your friend outside?
Mate, the thing is, I don't want to lie to you, all right? He told me, no, because I want to be sit down. Can I sit down, please?
The suspect is so nervous that he feels the need to sit down. But this doesn't help him, and his story gets more and more disjointed.
Yeah, please, we're listening to you. We are listening to you. It's your explanation.
I want to lie to you, The thing is, it's a thing on my friend, all right? He said, all right, this guy, he gave it to me, the card, all right? He gave me the card. He said, some money coming in, all right? He said me to get money, all right? He said, get for me the money, all right? I told you he has no time for it, all right? This is the truth.
As the cops check the man's details,
when's your visa due to run out then?
Confirmation comes through that he was not trying to withdraw money from his own account, and that's a criminal offence.
Someone else's card.
Someone else's card, is that correct? Okay, right. Obviously, you've heard what my colleague said. You've obviously tried to obtain money from another person's account using their card, is that correct?
Yes.
Using that person's card,
What do you mean?
Yeah, that is called... No, that's called fraud by false representation. I must caution you, didn't have to say anything, but it may harm.
So he's nicked, and as the cops search him, they find another bank card.
Oh, that's my friend, don't worry. That's my friend, that's my phone. That's another card, mate. No, nothing other than
Now the man claims that this card belongs to another friend. This man's failed to give any straight answers to the cops' questions, so he'll be facing a lot more down at the station. The maximum sentence for fraud by false representation is 10 years in prison. Across the city, PC Nick Bonichon and his colleague, whose identity we can't reveal due to the nature of his undercover work, have stopped two men that have been seen acting suspiciously around a busy train station.
I suspect you might have got nothing. No, I ain't got nothing.
The cops suspect that they have been selling stolen goods on the station's forecourt.
Right, I'm PC Bonichon from Bishopsgate Police Station. We're going to be looking for stolen watches, right?
Handling stolen goods is a serious crime and can fetch up to 14 years in prison. So these suspects had better have a good excuse. As the cops search the men, they find some designer watches.
What is it you got on you?
Two Armani watches.
Suspicions are raised further when the covert cops find a wad of used notes on one of the suspects. But the man claims he won the money gambling.
What runner did you have today then? Oh, just, well, it weren't from today, it's from yesterday, but from my last ticket that I won it. What was the runner? You know what, when I have a winner, I always remember. Yeah,
if the man did win the money gambling, surely he'd remember the name of the horse. Something's been going on here, and the cops will find out what. After the break, a man unconscious in the street.
Sit up, fella. Let's see if we can get you up. Fucking wait.
Aggressive drunks.
Fuck! Oi!
And the cops carry on quizzing the men with the dodgy watches.
I just buy them and sell them, I don't steal them.
Back at the train station, crime squad officers are still dealing with two men suspected of handling stolen goods. Officers have already found what they believe to be new Armani watches and a wad of cash. But constant questioning from the cops has paid off. These men have been up to something dodgy and have finally come clean.
Do people know they're buying snide ones off you? Yeah. Well, they must do. I'm not too sure. They think that they're buying stolen goods.
They've admitted that the watches are fakes, and they were trying to sell them.
How many of these have you sold?
I need a couple. Yeah, why don't you just pop the back off? You can sell this snide. There's got batteries in the back of it. Look, you just put your nail in there and just take it off.
Are they that bad?
Yeah.
And the watches are such bad quality, Officer Bonichon can't help but laugh.
10, 15 quid.
How long will that last, though? That's the question.
Well, I don't know, you know what I mean? I just buy them and sell them, I don't steal them.
It says waterproof to 50 metres. I don't think it's...
No, well, I wouldn't recommend... I wouldn't recommend jumping in the bath of it.
Selling counterfeit goods is illegal, but as these cops have no witnesses, there's little they can do but seize the fakes. Take the men's details and give them a stiff warning.
Well, you ain't got enough to nick you at the moment, but I know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
All right. Some people think they're having a touch and they're getting stolen goods, but there's trade offences that you're... No, it's fair enough.
They've admitted to selling counterfeit goods, but they don't seem to have a problem with it. They even tried to get some free publicity.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to offer you a bargain of a lifetime. Not going once, not going twice, but not going 3 times. It's a deal, it's a steal, it's sale of the century. I'm telling you now, in the shop, £200. From me, £15. What a bargain. Going once, going twice, it's all yours.
All right, see you later.
Take care.
Bye.
We're not going to fill cell spaces unnecessarily if we haven't got enough evidence to get it through the courts, so that's why they've been allowed to go at this present stage. However, if they're seen doing it again and we can actually catch them in the act of doing it, then we'll arrest them and deal with them for sort of trademark offences and perhaps having stolen goods. Fortunately, there wasn't enough at this moment in time.
We got a giggle for the day, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the constant war on crime, the City of London is always being patrolled by the plainclothes officers of the Undercover Crime Squad. Come into the square mile to break the law, and the chances are these highly trained cops will see you and catch you. Masters of disguise, they blend into the background and just wait for trouble. But so skilled are these cops that sometimes they don't even need to wait until a crime takes place. Disguised as a bicycle courier, a crime squad officer on the street has seen someone acting suspiciously, and his copper's intuition has kicked in.
A male's been sighted with a white carrier bag, shoplifter's bag. He's entered the River Island store. He's done a walk past, which is common MO. Do a walk past, have a look at the staff movements in there again, and then go in there and do the business.
As the man leaves the store, he's pulled by crime squad cop Nick Bonichon and his undercover colleague, who are out on patrol again. It turns out he's been arrested before.
When's the last time you got nicked or anything? A couple of months ago. Shoplifting?
And it was for shoplifting.
2 weeks ago you were nicked, yeah? That's negative.
What did you get nicked for that day? Must have been something theft related.
Papers found on the man from a previous court appearance also indicate that he's a drug user.
Sorry? Are you doing drugs at the moment?
It's cannabis.
Cannabis?
What'd you get a call with?
I have to go back and, keep my, what they call DRO.
Drug referral order.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go rehab.
If you're going on rehab, you're doing more than £10 a day on cannabis.
You also got a dip referral, which means you're using Class A.
When the man confesses to having no money, suspicions are raised further.
How much money have you got on you?
I had money before, I'm just going to deduct some money.
So if you've got no money on you, what was you doing in the ladies' shop?
Well, I was just looking around.
I know you were.
Yeah.
With an empty bag. And a convicted shoplifter. So that's drug problem.
I ain't got anything on him, but he was going to. He was well eyes about in the shop. I went in there with him. He was going to have something away, but there's a really clued up staff member in there.
These experienced undercover cops know all the tricks.
Telltale giveaways when someone walks past you like that with an empty bag. Someone comes into the city like that, they're shoplifting. Also the way he loitered outside the shops from the outside, looking in, then walked up there, looking back, making sure there's no plainclothes or uniformed police around. Then he comes back, goes in. He's got an empty shoebox. So what we'll probably do is go in, get the shoes, put them in there, put them in a box, walk out like we caught them all along.
This man hasn't committed any crime today. But the cops think that he could match the description of a shoplifter who was seen stealing in the city earlier in the week.
He's ident. Monday, 450 quid's worth of ladies' clothing.
You've got this,
and yesterday,
you've seen it?
No, yesterday, 350 quid of ladies' clothing. He's provided me details saying matching trainers, jacket, description complete.
Reports then come in from Police HQ that the suspect is wanted for non-payment of court fines totalling £1,000.
Oh, he's coming in for that anyway.
Geezer, you're under arrest, all right? Non-payment of fines. Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
There's also information that this man repeatedly tries to run from police.
Okay, the reason they're going on, all right, is because I've got information you're an escaper, all right?
He may not have committed a crime today, but the cops think he could have been involved in 2 very recent shoplifting sprees, and he owes vast amounts of money in fines. So he's heading back to the Nick. The city police have a zero-tolerance approach to shoplifters, coming down as hard as possible on prolific offenders. It's Wednesday afternoon in the city, and rapid response cops have had an emergency call. A man has collapsed in the street. It could be a possible heart attack.
Conscious and breathing at the moment, but because we're carrying a defib on board, so we'll have to attend in case we do need to administer first aid.
These elite city officers are among the few cops in the country who are trained to use a defibrillator machine for heart attack victims. So getting there quickly could mean the difference between life and death.
We have to do additional training to be trained to carry the defibs. But a lot of the time, the ambulance service will get to a situation before we do, but we still attend with the defibs.
At the scene, a motorbike paramedic has already arrived.
CP from 8 on scene, the paramedic's already on scene.
And it soon becomes clear that this is no heart attack.
Oh, I think right. Hello, mate.
With vomit all over the floor, it seems like this man has collapsed because he's so drunk.
Is it alcohol, is it?
It smells like it, yeah. I'm just checking the blood sugars to make sure it isn't out.
Go on, matey, open your eyes. Wakey.
To avoid him choking on his own vomit, it's vital that they bring the drunk man round.
Set yourself up for us, yeah?
But completely out of it on alcohol, his body is a dead weight.
For us, yeah? Come on. Good man, and we'll shove you back against the wall. There you go. Look up for me.
You've had a bit, quite a lot to drink, haven't you?
Today, yeah?
As he regains consciousness, he confirms he's been drinking heavily.
All day?
But immediately, he loses consciousness again.
I'll just check there's an ambulance coming. Yeah, the booze bus is kicking around. So good.
Then, as the cops find some Australian ID on the man, he comes back round.
Okay, that's better. You're all right. Stay there, no. Sit down, stay there. Stay down. Don't lie down, just stay there. I thought you Australians could drink. This gentleman, it looks like he's from Australia. He's a 30-year-old male. He's probably he's had a lot of alcohol to drink. Looks like he's collapsed. He's been vomiting. So there's the risk of him choking in his own vomits. This is why PCSO has highlighted the problem to the police and the ambulance service. We're trying to set him up at the moment so that he doesn't choke and try and keep him relatively comfortable till an ambulance comes to take him to hospital.
An ambulance then arrives on scene, and the cops can hand over to the paramedics.
I'll grab his legs. 3, 1, 2, 3. Running number?
Q303.
The ambulance has arrived. It's going to now be taken to St Thomas's Hospital, where he'll be treated and allowed to sober up.
It's estimated that alcohol-related incidents cost British taxpayers more than £25 billion a year in both policing and healthcare costs. Unfortunately for these cops, dealing with this kind of incident is commonplace. Night falls over the city, and rapid response cops have had an emergency call about a booze-fueled brawl at a train station. At the scene, police are everywhere. One man has already been detained, but he's still becoming increasingly aggressive.
Fuck! Oi! Do that to me again. Oh, sorry. I'm going to arrest you, yeah? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
During the fight, his mate received a nasty wound to the head. PC Chowdhury quizzes a witness who claims that these two men were fighting with another group, who have since made off.
One of the kids was out cold for like a good 10 seconds. Right, okay. So they've been attacked by some others? Well, they ain't necessarily been attacked. I think he actually initiated it.
With the risk of the main suspect kicking off again, he's arrested.
He's just going to have to be nicked D&D, mate. It just keeps going on and on.
What's the score of it?
Yeah, I don't. Fuck, just nick him D&D, mate.
Come around, man. Right, you're under arrest for being drunk and disorderly.
And as the cuffs go on, there's no end to the man's erratic behaviour.
Anything you do say, maybe give an evidence. Understand?
You kidding me? There's been some sort of fight. Unfortunately, the guy in the red top's not calming down. Every time we approach him, he's being aggressive. Due to his drunken behaviour, he's been arrested drunk disorderly.
The injured man is about to get medical treatment from a paramedic.
People, this gent's had some sort of altercation with a group of people that were fighting. He's saying he's been kicked in the back of the head.
Hello, mate.
We just want to check him out. I think it's a typical Friday night. He's had a bit too much to drink, him and his colleague. Something's happened, and maybe his colleague has got in trouble somewhere along the line and said something to someone. They've not liked it, and there's been some altercation. But unfortunately, he's been very rude to us whilst we got there and tried to help him out, which is why his colleague's been arrested for his drunken state and behaviour.
His mate's been arrested, but it's also bad news for the injured man, whose wound is so deep that he needs hospital attention.
It's split, so it's going to need stitching.
Right.
So I'm going to arrange a vehicle to come down and pick him up and take him to the hospital.
This is an all too familiar picture of how alcohol-fueled violence pulls on public resources. Up to 10 cops and paramedics have been needed to deal with just this one incident. Flowing through London is one of the busiest and most famous waterways in the world, the River Thames. It's a gateway to a city that has been on terror alert since 2005, providing easy access to some of London's most high-profile landmarks, including Tower Bridge, the London Eye and the Houses of Parliament. So when a report comes in at midnight of a group of people acting suspiciously on one of the river's jetties, City of London cops are onto it in seconds.
Yeah, they've got security at Thames Street saying that there's two men on a boat.
Yeah, we're en route. Is there a boat there? It's here.
Security guards at the scene initially alerted the police, and with the City of London being a prime terrorist target, these cops have to be ready for any eventuality.
Okay, you've got two guys on the pier just here. They need to stop your boat. Yeah. And I don't know what they're up to. My officer's spotted on the patrol too.
The guards have refrained from approaching the men, instead leaving it to the real professionals, the city's police.
The security it's phoned up, so they're on the pier doing something I shouldn't. We'll just find out what they're doing first.
But not knowing what they're dealing with, even these cops have to approach this situation with caution. After the break, cops avert disaster on the city's roads.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you can't drive this, it's unfit to be on the road.
And intruders on the River Thames.
It is an offence, you understand that, don't you?
It's now the dead of night in the City of London, and officers have seen a car driving with what they think is an illegal number plate.
The vehicle in front, it's at the moment is really not satisfied with the number plate on it. The spacing's all wrong. Usually when you pull cars over like this, Road Traffic Act, you can lead to other things as well.
Vehicle licence plates have to adhere to a strict format, allowing both CCTV cameras and other road users to read them clearly. This one does not, so it's time to pull it over. Information from the police national computer indicates that the car has been pulled before.
The reason why we stopped you, one, you've been stopped before, so we just run your index before.
I've never...
You were stopped in April. I'm guessing the same reason why we stopped you, which is your number plates are wrong.
I got stopped
and your
in
front
April
windows
for what?
and your front window tints are wrong as well.
I got stopped for what?
The officer has also noticed that the tinted windows on the vehicle are far too dark.
Yeah. You've wound them down because we saw that they were completely blacked out. They're supposed to allow in 70% of light, and we couldn't even see you, so it's not letting in 70%, is it?
I actually don't know about percentages and stuff. That's how I bought the vehicle.
Oh, right, OK, no worries. Have you got your driver?
Even though the driver claims ignorance over the tinted windows, it's his responsibility that they meet the legal requirements. If he were to have a crash due to impaired vision caused by the darkened windows, it could be disastrous.
Just checking these window tints. And they're supposed to let in 70% of light, but these are only letting in, I'd say, less than 30.
The cops now have two options. They either seize the car or get the driver to remove the tints.
They come off it quite easily, and you just pick them off now, and then you can drive away in it.
This driver now has a dilemma.
Do you want to have a go at picking it off? Or do we really need to take it off the road?
Well, you're not really giving you much option, to be honest.
No.
The second is not really an option.
Because it's night time as well. You can't really see that much out of it, surely.
Realising his car will be seized, he decides to peel the tints.
Clean off with, like... Yeah? I think that's going to be the best bet, isn't it?
The tint is simply a coloured film which has been glued to the glass of the window.
If you've got something on you, unless you've got really long nails, like your key, just to put the little edge in there, and then you... See, there? See, it's a film. You just pick at that, and then the whole film should come away. I've seen loads of people do it that done it a lot quicker than you have.
But eventually the tint does come away.
There you go, look at that. Be careful, don't be careful, because then you're going to have to start picking this away as well.
And it's clear what a difference it makes.
There, see? I told you, once you get the initial bit out of the way, it's easy to come off then.
Before long, the tinted film starts to peel easily.
There you go. Top man, nice one. See, that's how they look. That's how it should be. You should be letting in that amount of light. We stopped this gentleman because his plates are the wrong spacing. It's not the worst crime in the world. He's got front tints that aren't letting in enough light. I've asked him to peel it off, otherwise we'll take the car off the road, and he's been kind enough to peel it off.
So with the tint gone and a ticket issued for the number plate, the man is free to go. The River Thames, and cops have been called to deal with a group of people who have been seen by security guards acting suspiciously on a jetty. Not knowing who the people are or what they are up to, the cops have approached the situation with caution. But now, on the actual jetty, they're about to confront the suspects.
All right. We'll try to get you on the channel, but we can get through. Is there anyone on the boat?
In the dim light of their torches, the cops come across two men and a woman tucked up inside sleeping bags. It turns out that these people have moored their boat on the jetty because it's sinking. The group claim that Thames lifeguards towed them here earlier that day, and when the cops see the boat, it's clear it's not fit to sail.
It looked a wreck, and apparently this afternoon it kept breaking down, so consequently the Coast Guard have let them moor up there for the night. But we didn't realise that they were trying to sleep in there, so we thought it was, you know, burglars, basically. I'm not going on it.
The evidence indicates that the stranded boaters are legitimate, but the cops still need to make further inquiries.
Basically, with the terrorism sort of threat, bearing in mind you are one of the greatest river on the planet, so we want to make sure that everything's hunky-dory here.
We've established the people on the pier, they're just finding somewhere to sleep for the night. I don't think there's actually any offences being committed, but we've obviously got to ascertain who they are.
The police then establish that these people are river travellers and the boat is their home.
So where are you hoping to go in the boat tomorrow?
Up the river,
We can't know it till we repair it, obviously.
Well, you intend to go that way, do you?
I'm going that way.
You're going that way. Where are you hoping to get to?
Wherever it takes us.
Right. It was just a decision that's going to be made by the governor whether you're going to be allowed to sleep here. But obviously the security, I mean, obviously this is the River Thames with the heightened security.
But all we're trying to do is keep an eye on our boat before it falls to pieces.
You can understand why we're checking out.
Well, yeah, we'll do, obviously.
The cops then find a suspicious item on one of the travellers.
You cannot sleep with things like this under your pillow. Okay? It is an offence. You understand that, don't you?
Yeah, we'll do, but this is London.
Well, nobody's going to bother you on here tonight, rest assured.
I'll be back.
Not if you're going to use it as a weapon, you can't.
We can just put it in that green box at the front, so...
With the screwdriver returned to the boat, and after a deliberation with the Jetty security, the cops decide to give these unlucky boaters a break.
But the security aren't too fast as long as they are just sleeping there. They're going to let them stay there for the night. We'll send an airlift officer down, make sure they're okay in the morning, get them on the way.
But until then, this jetty is their home. Brit cops, law and disorder, taking you to the front line in the battle against crime, hunting fugitives,
Get him now. Get on the floor, mate. On the floor.
catching con men,
Yeah, bank cards in other names have been found.
cracking down on drugs.
It's around there, yeah? Right, I'm going to arrest you now when the station's done.
Our cameras capture all the action as these cops capture their criminals.